video yesterday of Journey Pup doing a leave it with a plate of food and received this comment, which is a very valid question and something I've seen discussed in a few threads across social media recently. So let's chat. Is it okay to tease your dog? Firstly, everyone's opinion is going to be different here, and that's okay. I'm just going to give you my take on the teasing or training debate. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you'll know that I hate blanket rules, and I strongly believe in training and working with the individual dog in front of you. And this topic is no different. Okay, so when it comes to teasing, like anything else, first we need to understand what teasing is. The English dictionary definition of teasing says, teasing is an action intended to provoke or make fun of someone in a playful way. So, what actions do we define as teasing? Pretending to throw a ball a couple of times before releasing it to increase the arousal of the dog? Is luring a dog with a piece of food teasing? Is asking a dog to leave a toy or a plate of food teasing? The action itself is a matter of perspective, but what I feel is important here isn't the action itself, but the intent behind it. Teasing by definition indicates a playful intent, a positive interaction, and this needs to be seen as positive by both parties. Which takes us on to our next point of consideration, the individual dog, their resilience, drives, personal enjoyments, their aversives, and so on. Some dogs love it and it makes the reward oh so much better for them, and some dogs get really quite offended and upset by it. If your dog enjoys it, cool. If your dog doesn't like it, then just don't do it. The third thing to consider is relationship. If you have a new, poor or unpredictable relationship with your dog, then work on that first. If you've got a solid, positive relationship with your dog and you can tick off both of the previous points, then in my opinion, you're all good. And my last point of consideration is the consequence or closure to the tease. Is it followed up by something which makes your dog fill with joy? Is the tease worth it for the dog? And is there actual closure to the activity? So an example here could be a flirt pole versus a laser pointer. Both activities could be considered to tease the dog. However, a flirt pole has closure by way of the dog gets to catch what it's being teased by, whereas the dog will never catch the laser pointer. And no closure is setting you and your dog up for problems later, so don't do that. In the same way, if you wave a tug around for your dog and you never throw it or let them grab it, depending on what their game is, and then you put it away, you're not providing any closure or reward for the dog, so it's not a positive experience. And this will likely take you back to the second point of consideration, the individual dog, whereby your dog won't enjoy that sort of interaction anymore. So, let's take a look at the video I posted and why, for me, I would consider this training, not teasing. So firstly, intent. The intent in this case is a training drill solidifying her leave it cue. She isn't restrained and is free to make choices. Journey picks things up on walks and eats them, so for her, a leave it cue is an important life skill to keep her safe. The individual dog. Journey's been training from 8 weeks old, and at a confident 5 months, she is now a very resilient pup, and this is a skill that she's built up over a few weeks from lower value foods. The relationship. We have a solid, trusting, positive relationship built through positive reinforcement, consistency and predictability. And the consequence and closure. So for this exercise, I pay big because when I really need to use this skill, when she goes and finds half a cooked chicken discarded outside Tesco's, I need it to work. I need Journey to know, without doubt, that leaving what I've asked her to is most definitely worth it. And no, I won't have an entire chicken with me on a walk to reward her for leaving the half chicken she just found on the ground. But the reward history will have been built to such a point that that one time that I tell her that she's a good girl and have a party with her, that'll be enough. So for a training drill, if she leaves one piece of ham, she'll get a whole handful as a reward. In this video, for leaving one steak, she actually got 2. Those keen-eyed of you will have noticed I always remove what I've asked her to leave, but you'll have also noticed the whole handful of something else that gets tossed at her at the end. And once the drill is ended, she gets given it back. So why do I remove it? Because dogs are smart and they often preempt what comes next. So if I let her eat what I just asked her to leave, then she might preempt what comes next and gobble it up after the mark or reward, which in a real life situation, I don't want her to do that. So to keep things clear for her, when asked to leave it, she doesn't get it. Once the activity is ended, then she gets it back to enjoy. The consequence. So what happens if she eats it? Because she can move quicker than me. The consequence of a training drill for eating it is absolutely nothing. She got a free snack. But because of consistent training and reward history, the consequence of not eating it is that she'll get something better or get more. The choice, however, that's totally hers. The consequence in a real life situation where she finds that cooked chicken, if she eats it, the consequence could be a blockage, a ruptured intestine, and a very sick or dead dog, which is why training the skill is important. And just one more point, just because it's mentioned in this comment, I don't train my dogs when they're hungry or believe in making them perform skills or taught behaviours for their meals. Dogs need food to survive, it's basic biology. And I don't believe in making them work for something they need to survive. And secondly, a hungry dog isn't a learning dog nor a focused dog, and they aren't going to give you their optimum performance. Just like you and just like me. Making your dog hungry in attempts to increase the value of your rewards is actually completely counterproductive. So that's my take on the teasing versus training discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts, feelings and opinions, so post them in the comments and let's talk.